So, you like AFK shiny hunts in Legends ZA. But what if I told you automating shiny hunts have been around for years, and you can do it for less than the price of a turbo controller? Forget endlessly grinding and get ready to revolutionize your Pokemon experience. In this video, I'll be showing you how many trainers for years now have been catching some of the rarest Pokemon just by pressing one button. Let's get into it. Alright guys, here we are at the PKMNAutomation.github.io page. I'll leave the link in the description. Now, what is this? It's a program that was made by some homebrew developers. They've come up with a program that's allowed to emulate basically you pressing buttons on a controller. So why would you want to do this? If you have a job, you have school, you have things going on in your life that you just can't spend hours and hours playing the game, pressing buttons over and over for hours on end, hoping that the computer decides, hey, this is your time to get that shiny. This is going to help you a lot. So this is going to allow you to AFK in just about every game, not just Pokemon games. It can be any game, more so with Pokemon because that is what they specialize in. Now, if we go down here, we can kind of get an idea of what the setup is like. You don't need custom firmware. You don't need to hack anything. Everything is legit. You can just use your stock switch. You just need a capture card, which is like 20 bucks on eBay or Amazon, wherever you'd like to buy your stuff. And the same goes for the controller part that we'll just look into right now. There's a few options you can do. The cheapest and I think probably the most suggested idea is getting what's called an ESP32. And it's this one right here. It can simulate your left Joy-Con and your right Joy-Con as well as a wireless Pro controller. It does it completely wirelessly. It's very cheap and affordable. It can be bought for less than $10. You can even get a pack of 3 for like $20 on Amazon. So if you buy one of these and you have some extras, you can pass it off to a friend and they can also do the shiny hunts as well along with you. All the information you need for setting this up is on this page. We can take a quick look at some examples of how the program looks and works. We'll get into the program in just a moment, but just to get a quick idea, it actually has vision. So what does that mean? That means it can actually see what's going on in the game, and based on images on screen, as you can see, these little red boxes everywhere are basically like taking pictures and saying, hey, do we see an instance of a shiny showing up? Maybe it detects there's a sparkle in that image, and then that means, oh, we found a shiny, therefore stop the program and let you know that you found your shiny. If we want to go into looking at how to set it up, all the information is here. It's not overly complicated. They do have a Discord if you need it. It's actually right here at the very top of the home page. You'll just see right there, Pokemon Automation. Make sure to jump in there and get your any kind of tech support. They'll be glad to help you there. As for the games that it supports, like natively, we do have a general Nintendo Switch program section, which does just basically like your turbo controllers and that kind of stuff. I will be showing that later on in the video. It does Pokemon Home, it does Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Legends Arceus, Scarlet and Violet, Legends ZA, and even Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. They have some programs for that as well. So, also, you can also integrate this with your Discord. So if you would like to be able to automate this whole process, but then also be able to control what's going on from Discord, you can command it from Discord with commands and also be alerted or pinged when it does find a shiny. So let's get into the program. All right, here we are. We're using version 0.59.7. We're going to go through from the top to bottom so you get a good idea of what's going on here. All right, from the top left, you can see a program select. So what does that mean? It's basically what programs that or scripts that the developers have made for whatever game that pertains to you. Starting with the Nintendo Switch, there is something called Virtual Consoles. It's not what you think it is, but if you go to the Virtual Console, this is basically like your capture software. So like if you were doing video capture in some other software like an Elgato, whatever, you can use this program as that if you would like to. You don't necessarily have to, but it is an option if you just want to look at the screen. There's no programs associated with this. It's just giving the live feed. Now, there are programs down below. There's the Turbo A program, which, as it sounds, is just pressing A button constantly over and over again. You can program a different button with the Turbo button program as well. You have the Turbo Macro, which is just basically using a more complicated list of turbo buttons being pressed. If we go into push joysticks, which is what it sounds like. So instead of you guys putting a rubber band around your joystick, you can use this to tell where you want the joystick to be held down for how long. You can program it there. You can prevent sleep, so if you don't want your console to go to sleep. It has a program for adding people on your Switch, so if you want to like mass add people or mass delete people off your Switch, it has a program for that as well. And finally, we're going to get into the last one here, which is Record Keyboard Controller. This one's going to be pretty handy for you guys. You can actually make your own macros with this setting. So we're going to get into how we actually set up this screen here. So first of all, we're going to have to set it to serial PA bot base. So that's going to be just using the USB cord that you have your controller plugged into. Then it's going to be COM3 and then wired controller. So now we have that. Just make sure that whatever ones you're working with, it does list that your controller is there. In my case, it's a Leonardo. You can definitely do resets if you need to just kind of get the connection working again if it doesn't say it's connected and ready. But next step is make sure your video input is set to the capture card of which your console is coming through in. Mine happens to be this one here. Same thing for the audio. So we have the same capture card twice. That should give us our audio. And then finally, we have the output. This can be whatever you want, whether it's your headphones, your speakers. This is the audio. It's gonna send the audio out to whatever device you want it to be. In my case, it's gonna be my headphones here so I can hear. You do have a volume slider if you just don't want to hear it or you want to turn it up if you're listening for shinies. Console type, you can pretty much leave this as is, but if you want, you can play around. There is an international Switch option or a Japanese version. And if you don't know what your Switch 2 is, you can leave it there. Or if you are running a Switch 1 or an OLED, there is an option for that as well. Slight differences between the consoles, so whatever it applies to you, make sure you put that in. Other than that, we're pretty much set up. Now, there is a couple other things we can talk about. We have overlays, so we have stats. This just gives you the overall stats of what's going on with your computer and utilization. Nothing too crazy there. You can see the frame rates and all that. Nothing too important. Boxes. Now, we don't have any boxes showing up on screen, but we did see them earlier on in the video. Those boxes are actually detection areas. So when those boxes are on screen, you can have those overlays to say, just to see like what is the game looking for in that case. I will quickly switch over to a ZA program right now. So let's say we do Wild Zone, the Wild Zone entrance, for example. If we turn on the boxes for this and we start the program, we are going to see the boxes show up. So now it's detecting this big red square and then this blue square as well, or rectangle. Based on whatever it sees in there, it will adjust the macro on the fly in real time. So basically, it is very aware. It can see what's going on. Also, we do have a log, so if you would like to see like what is actually being output or what controls are being put out, it will log those in this little list here. But again, not really necessary. None of these are really needed for anything, so you can completely ignore this. It's not important. You can change to have a spectrum or a spectrometer or a spectrogram. These are just audio representations, so the programs do show what is going on in audio-wise. So if a sparkle sound happens, it will pick up on that and it'll be able to detect via audio. But again, this is just for visuals. You don't need it. It's still going to use it regardless. Once everything is set up, you can actually just save your profile. Once you save it, it will be saved as a JSON file, and it'll be called console settings. So if you ever need to get this all back the way it was, just go load profile, load that file again, and then all this will pop up again. If you want, you can take a screenshot at any time just by pressing the screenshot button instead of using your controller or whatnot. So there you go. That is how you set it up. We'll go back to the keyboard recorder, because it's basically what it is. So if you want to set up your own macros, you can use this program. You just change the bottom part here to record. Once you've done that, you can change the name. It's going to be user settings / whatever the name is. So it could be, like I said, we're going to make a test, right? So we got test, and then number of times is going to loop. We're not worried about these right now because these are not going to apply to us until after we record our macro. So for example, right now I'm currently using my Pro controller. So like you can see, I'm moving around. This is my Pro controller. What we need to do is actually go to their home screen. If we go to our home screen, go to controllers, go change grip order. Now we're on this screen. Make sure that you're on the screen, you're in the program, press enter. When you see that, you're going to see a USB controller pop up, and it's not going to be any other controller you own because this is now your keyboard controlling the Switch. Press A again, press Shift to go back, and then you can use the arrow keys to go back to your game. Now, we are controlling our game using our keyboard. As you can see, my inputs are very, very not analog. They're very digital. So now we're controlling our game with our keyboard. We're using the WASD to move around, and we're using the arrow keys for our other joysticks so we can look around. So let's just pretend we're going to make a macro where I just move forward, maybe backwards, whatever the case may be. So we're going to start the program. Hold on. There we go. I have to make a new file. So test 1. So if I pressed up 1 on the keyboard, and then maybe one more, then we'll go to the right, go to the right, go to the right. And let's say that was our macro for whatever reason. Now we stop it. Now we're done. We have our macro set. It knows the timings. It's going to do that every single time once we put it on replay. Once it's on the replay mode, it's going to run this file called test1. It's going to run it 100 times, and then it's going to loop it every time in between. It's going to wait 4 seconds for it to repeat that next one. We can change it to 2. We can change it to whatever, as long as the sequence doesn't get interrupted. So you might play around with this. The default is 5, but it doesn't matter. So if we start the program, as you can see, our character is moving. I am not touching anything. It's completely taken over, and it's running the program. Once it gets to the end of the program, as you can see, it's repeating after the 2 seconds that we set it to, and it's just going to keep doing that. And you can do this for like as long as you want. If you want to run a level on a game and record your inputs and be able to run the level by itself, you could do that. So this macro is how you can make your own, but that's not the most advanced features of this program. If we go into Pokemon Legends ZA, or ZA, we can see that we have a bunch of different categories to choose from on the left-hand side here. I'm just going to go quickly to the game settings. You might need to change this, probably not. Most of these values are ready to go, but if you want to change them for whatever reason, whether it's the start game weight, enter a game mash, enter game weight, all these settings are here, but for the most part, we'll just get into the programs. So if you are the type of person that likes to buy clothing and wants to buy them all, there is a clothes buying program. I'm just going to open up my file real quick to get all these settings loaded up. There we go. And then we go scroll down. All your settings will always be just below the video. So each program will have its own things it's going to ask you. So make sure you go through each one individually. So for this instance, since we're doing clothes, it's asking the number of categories. So the number of categories of clothing the shop has. So how many categories? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Those are basically each tab in the store. So if the store has 3 tabs, you're going to put 3 here. That's going to know that. And then go home when done. So when the program finishes, go to the switch home menu to idle, so you could tell, hey, you know what, once you're done buying all those clothes, go back to home so I know that you're done. If you want to do that, just check this box here. If you don't, that's fine. Once you click start, it will start doing that program. I'm not at a store currently, but believe me, it will. These down here, Discord notifications, you can set this up. So in your Discord, it will send messages to a channel that you think that is appropriate to put it there. You can tell it, should it ping you? Should it take a screenshot when it's done? Should it notify you? You can test the messages by clicking a send a test message just to make sure you set it up properly. We'll get into that a little bit more. But everything is pretty straightforward. If there's any questions, let me know in the comments. Other such programs, we got a berry buyer. So, you know, if you guys have played the game, you know that it takes forever to buy berries. You can set this up and it'll buy berries for you. We have a restaurant farmer, which means it will battle the restaurant over and over again for you until you get those 1,000 battles done. We have a mega shards farmer. If you need mega shards, another good way to do it. And then we have shiny hunting, which is probably what most of you are here for. We have a bench sit method. We have the overworld reset. And we have a wild zone entrance. So which way you're trying to hunt, you're going to pick one of these. And you're just going to make sure that all the settings down here you've taken a look at before you've set it up. It will take some time trying to figure out what the best settings might be for you, but it won't be long. Trust me, it doesn't take more than like 5-10 minutes to kind of like make sure that everything's good. And once it's done, then you're ready to go. Just leave it and let it play. Now, with that being said, there are a few other things I can show you. If you ever need help with anything that's going on with these programs, every program on the very top of the program, whether it's the overworld reset, the bench sit, when you click over to them, you will see current program. And right here in blue lettering, online documentation, you click that, it will go to the guide on how that program works. It gives you documentation, it's like step-by-step, kind of the background of how it works and all that stuff. So if you ever get lost, there's always online documentation for every single program individually, not just the whole thing. So if you're using one of these modes, you're like, I don't understand how they work, just click online documentation and that's it. You should have all the information you need there, what the options do, what all the settings do, it's right there. Also, if you ever need help from the guys themselves, you can always go to discord.gg/PKMNAutomation. The link is on the bottom left corner here, right beside where we said keyboard layout, which was the keybinds. Also, if you'd like the GitHub, it's also there as well. And then finally, we have output window, which, let's see, does that show up on screen here? It does not. Hold on. There you go. So as you can see, we have an output window, which means this is what the program's doing. You can see how long the button presses are. For whatever reason you want to like diagnose why your programs aren't working or they're not exactly functioning the way they should, there's always that. And finally, we have settings, which is going to be just your general settings for the entire program. You're welcome to go through this, peruse, and see what kind of things you want to change. It does have dark mode, which is what I'm using right now. Otherwise, you guys would be blind if we had it on the default mode, but that's a personal preference. Whatever you guys want to do. If you want to change your Discord settings, if you want to set up a Discord bot that will let you know what's going on with your Switch while you're at work, at school, or whatever, you can use your Discord server as a controller and just make sure like, hey, what's going on? Did you find a shiny? Anything like that? It will ping you. You can set it all up in here. There's also online documentation, as you can see right here. If you click that, that will take you over to the page and just let you know what everything is. Once you have that all set up, you'll basically have a bot that will let you know, hey, I found a shiny and I'm waiting for you to go catch it, or whatever settings that you might have put in. Just one last thing I want to show before we call it a video. All right, so there is other programs, like I said, for other games. Just want to show you some of the cool things you can do. You have the daily item farmer, you have the Alolan trades, you have fossil revival, you have gift resets, you have legendary resets. All of this for Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee. Full disclaimer, you will need the ESP32 because that board is the only one that can emulate left Joy-Con and right Joy-Cons. If you do have a chip like mine, which is the Arduino Leonardo, it will not be able to do that function, but that is specifically only for Let's Go. Every other game, you're able to use your existing Arduino board if you have one. If you're just getting into it, the ESP32 is probably the most recommended one to get. But as you can see, Sword and Shield has a crazy amount of programs that it can do. You can basically hunt every legendary, whether it's like Regigigas, the Swords of Justice, any of the Regis, an Overworld, the Cramomatic if you're looking for that, like the entirety of Max Layer. So the Dynamax Adventures, if you are looking to do shiny hunts for that, this program can run the entirety of the Dynamax Adventure over and over and over again until a shiny pops up, and it will let you know that, hey, I found a shiny. So if you're looking to get any of those shinies in Sword and Shield, this is a great way to do this. Completely AFK. You don't even need to be there. Just let it play day in, day out until your shiny shows up. This is also BDSP right here. So again, same thing, shiny hunts of all different kinds, whether it's an overworld, a fishing, the shaman hunt, legendaries, starter resets, everything is here. If you can think it's probably here, and you can do it. It's just a matter of time. Just let it do its thing, and eventually you'll get your stuff. Legis Arceus also has a bunch of programs as well. It's all a matter of what you're looking for. And again, if it's not in this program, you could always make your own using the Nintendo Switch category. Again, record, keyboard, controller, and just use that program to make your own macros. Again, they won't be super great only because it has no vision. The vision thing does not apply to this. It is basically just running through a list of commands that you have put into it. It will not be able to see like, oh, I'm in the wrong menu, I've ran into the wrong thing, you know, like there's going to be some issues, so there might be some supervision involved with this one, but it is there in case you really do need it. But other than that, that's going to do it for me on this video. If you have any questions or comments, you might leave them down below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you like this kind of stuff, you're also welcome to hop into Discord. Just make sure you come in and just say hello, and we can help you out with anything that you might need. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks for checking me out. All right, peace.